Bitcoin's alive, what you gonna do? Man, pool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ay, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ay, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystems. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. So every week we do a weekly update and a weekend update. Today is your weekend update. We got so much good stuff to talk about today. We're really going to get into a lot of stuff here. We're going to get into the halving being 25 days away and why my Bitcoin, price prediction is like really the only one that should matter right now, because I think I am the only one who is bullish enough. Everyone doesn't seem bullish enough, and that is kind of ridiculous. We're in the very early stages of a Bitcoin halving with, presidential election year, the Fed having five bullet to interest rates cuts potentially, and this first time in history the sitting president is the underdog in the election. Imagine what they're going to do to this economy. They're going to inflate the crap out of all the prices, guys. You guys are not bullish enough. And without further ado, let's get the show started. I'm bringing my partner, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Are you bullish enough, Yagobi? Are you bullish?
I am bullish enough, and I think I'm bullish at the perfect amount. We've been talking about this. We just came out of a treacherous bear market. It was long, it was hard. We found like a little space to get into early, and then the past like 4 or 5 months since November, like even though we've been kind of crawling up to the bull market, it's been really great for us, right? I'm excited because the real true orange tsunami is about to be unleashed.
That is true. And okay, so let's just say we're both right and this orange tsunami does happen. Is that good or bad for Bitcoin ordinals in the short term?
I think it's always good. It might not seem like it from the optics, because the price might not go up against Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going to be going up. But at the end of the day, I think money starts to flow into Bitcoin once it all is determined, in my opinion, on the greed meter, right? Like in this greed meter, I feel like because we're so early, you got to kind of draw a larger circle, right? And so like that hand that is kind of moving, I think like in the middle, like where we're heading towards being more greedy would be like further down last cycle, right? Because we're just now starting. There's so much bullishness in this cycle in terms of ETF approval, in terms of halving, in terms of on-chain economy. There's so many narratives that actually going to feed into this. And I think that someone brought it up in one of our spaces. It was either our space or OSD, shout out Ordinal Support Desk. But they said that like Ordinals benefits from Bitcoin's price action going up, even if it might not seem like it from the optics, because at the end of the day, more people are learning about it. More people that have made profit will eventually start to flow into Ordinals first before it gets to the other altcoins.
That actually makes a lot of sense here, right? Because I guess we are the closest thing to the rock, right? So, I mean, it's all kind of trickles down from there. It might be the first time ever where we add something to it used to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then altcoins, and then your meme coins. Now it could actually be Bitcoin ordinals or Bitcoin ecosystem, Ethereum, altcoins, meme coins, and then back to the recycling again. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's definitely something that's definitely possible. So I kind of wanted to show my screen before we get into the Bitcoin price stuff. This guy right here. So this is pretty awesome. You guys haven't checked out the site yet. It's bitbo.io /halving. Sitting at 25 days, 4 hours and 10 minutes. This will actually tell you the exact day. Here it is right here. April 18th, 2024. So what are you thinking, man? We're about 20. Yeah. We're right there, man. We're so 25 days out.
Dude, I'm so excited. There's some people, the bears that make their name being bearish, that have come out and said this halving, don't expect all these, but well, they're not in the Bitcoin ecosystem. They're just crypto guys. We're actually in the Bitcoin ecosystem. We're in the trenches. So the Runes protocol is going to launch. There's no way that it's not going to be a bullish time for Bitcoin. at all. Like there's people talking in these circles saying that, there's billions of dollars in the Middle East that are on the sidelines, probably Asia as well, probably some in the West too, that are waiting for runes to drop because it's Casey. And I just can't see a time period of when the halving happens for it to be down, for it to be like depressing, for it, Bitcoin might not like go to 150K, but I'll tell you, it's going to be an exciting time for on-chain activity and on-chain economy for Bitcoin, and I can almost guarantee that, but not financial advice.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. I actually am a little bit probably a little further than that. I think in these next 25 days, I think we're over 100K. I think we smashed through, and I think we do have a little bit of a pullback, but that pullback is going to be so good for runes, right? Because a lot of people are going to be dumping the Bitcoin they just made a ton of money on in the last 25 days. They're going to be dumping that into runes, and runes is going to take off. If you remember, we just had a member video and we talked about exactly what we're doing and our plans are. But I mean, our plans are very similar. We're trying to get as liquid as possible. And I think we are going to be, again, we've been right, because I feel like we've had two ordinal cycles already, right? We had one in November, and then I feel like we had another one in January, to where, that really pushed the Merlin stuff all the way up and stuff, with the BRC 420s and stuff like that. And I feel like that we're about to get in that next big ordinal Bitcoin native, coins and things again with runes.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, there was before the actual crawl up to the bull market, there was a couple little bull market cycles last year too, like in the summer, with the BRC 20s going off, and then some of these ordinal collections like the frogs going off. So there was actually 4 cycles so far in ordinals. The first one we missed, it was like early January, February, and then summertime, and then we hit fall, and then winter. Dude, it literally cycled every season. It's crazy.
I know.
And but we haven't really seen the true ordinal cycle yet, I don't think. And you guys thought BRC 20s craze was nuts. I'm telling you right now that this runes craze is going to be absolutely positively nuts, in my opinion. Be ready. I'm so glad that like we've gone through the whole like education part of fungibles on Bitcoin for a whole year. We know what's coming and we know how to be ready. And you guys will know too. If you're a member of the Ordinal Revolution YouTube channel, you'll get that, sneak peek into our brains, as well as we tell it on our regular videos as well. You just get a little bit more insight on the members videos.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously, you get more time with us, so we get 20 minutes of just digging into our personal, our personal portfolios and stuff like that. But that's if you're a member. If you're not a member, that's fine too. But we're gonna dig into some Bitcoin price action. What is the king doing these days?
Yeah, let's do it. So looking definitely a little bit better than yesterday and half of the day before. Here's my screen here. As always, we are on the hourly chart. I like to look at the hourly chart. It shows more of a sentiment. At least like you can start the sentiment from, the hourly, because I feel like these each candlestick is an hour. So you can kind of see right here, starting from early this morning, like late, like we're talking about midnight last night. It started to reverse here. We have a leg up. It went from 64. Right now we're sitting right under 66. Not right under it, 65.5. Right. So you can see that we were hanging out in bearish, like oversold territory for a while, since I would say like Saturday evening. But you can see right here the first leg up, and then a little bit of a oversold moment, and then here's the second leg up. They're not huge legs up, but they're just kind of chopping back and forth, right? We're seeing, like, I think it got as low as the wick right here shows 62, got as high as 66 right there, and that's kind of where the chop is happening right here, because then it went all the way back down to 63.7, and then now we're almost back, like the wick here almost took us back to 66. So looks like 63 to 66 is a fair estimate of where we've been chopping back and forth. And this next week's going to be very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue that. Maybe even going a little bit lower, maybe hitting like those high 50s. If it gets to 58,000, I've brought this up many times. It's that 20% retrace from the 73,000 mark that we hit before. if it gets lower than that, I'd be shocked, honestly. Me personally, just because I don't feel like we're in that environment like we were the previous cycle in March, whenever COVID was like that black swan event. That took us to 48% retrace. Going to 20% seems more logical with this ETF buy pressure. But yeah, I'm happy with where Bitcoin is. Even if it dumps further, dude, like we're happy. We got smiles on our faces because we know it's like we have the legend, the key in this book to where we're going, right? So
yeah, man, and I think this week's gonna be a big week. I think that you're gonna see, I think we're gonna get back to the all-time high, or if not close to it, within the next 7 days. Because for us to get to that 100 number, where I think we're gonna be around the halving day, I think that we're gonna have to have a God candle that is like 7, 8, 10, 12, $15,000 in the matter of either a day, and I think we can get that obviously on the weekly, a $10,000-$15,000 candle. And I think it's coming. I think it's only a matter of time.
yeah. Yeah, and you had a little bit of a price prediction. I think you tweeted about yesterday. So let's go ahead and throw that up and see. Let the world know what Shizzy thinks is going to happen with BTC.
And people are probably think that my numbers coming out of my butt a little bit, right? But it's not. It's coming the fact of the gold market cap. So if we hit my prediction, which is right here at the stage here. All right. So it says here are my projected Bitcoin prices for the upcoming cycle. This is bullish enough. This is what I call peak bullish enough. This. If you think this is going to happen, you are bullish enough, right? So I'm thinking, so peak May 2025 is going to hit 748,067, and that'll put it right at gold's market cap right now, right? Now, obviously, I think gold's going to be higher than that, but I'm saying right now. And then, and then I think we're going to have like close to a 50% drop, but I think the days of these monster drops, 90, 70% are over. I think we settle between a 40 and a 50% drop, like right here. Now, I think we see something like this going forward. I think by, May, we're right around here at 750, and then we come back down, and then we go on to the next cycle. I'm not, this is, I think next cycle we hit 2.6, but I'm not really getting into that. I'm really getting into this right here. I think we hit this 750 number, and we come back down to about 350, and then we kind of roll from there. I don't know how right this is. This is just me, and from my experience over the last 5 years now, that I think this is what we're going to hit, and I think this is bullish enough. And I said at the beginning of the show, and I think this is because we have a sitting president who is the underdog. This has never happened before, right? He has everyone in his like cabinet and everything. They're all Democrat, right? Like most of them. So it's I truly believe that Powell's going to get a call. Janet Yellen is going to get a call. They're all going to get calls and say, let's push these economy numbers to points where people are saying this is the greatest economy again ever. But we're going to see inflated prices. But when people are making money, you don't care about inflated prices. You only care about inflated prices when the Fed raises rates. So I think the Fed's going to drop rates. I think we're going to see 3 to 4% cut within the next 500 days, and that's going to, every single time that happens, you're going to see a jolt in the entire prices of every single market. So I'm thinking like Google's going to hit a $4 trillion market cap. Like Nvidia is going to hit like insane numbers. I think everything is going to run. But I think Bitcoin is the fastest horse in that race, and then ordinals are the second fastest horse, if not can pace out Bitcoin and actually take that number one spot. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? I can't hear you.
Okay, there I am. I was gonna say the call to Janet Yellen, in my opinion, is gonna be a lot easier than the call to Jerome Powell. I mean, Jerome Powell is, he is conservative. He's a Republican, but at the end of the day, like they don't. I mean, they can still put stimulus out, right? So they can put circulating currency out there, and obviously you want to do it strategically. But I think they have like a toolbox, right, of what they're going to try to use. So At the end of the day, I think you're right that they're going to try to prop up the economy to make it look like, hey, look what we did. Don't you want to keep this going type of situation? And so it's going to be interesting to see how the Fed responds to that, though.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be very, very
Well,
interesting.
right now, we're in the opposite of quantitative easing, and quantitative easing is when they start buying up assets, right? And I think that they start doing that again. They've been selling off assets for the last I want to say year and a half, and I think they're eventually going to start buying again. And when they start buying, there's a lot of liquidity back into the markets. And I think a lot of that liquidity, people saw what happened last time when the dollar inflated so much. A lot of that liquidity is going to go into Bitcoin. And like you said before, I mean, there's countries that are just waiting for this opportunity, like Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, and China. China is one of the biggest buyers of Bitcoin. Like we noticed that firsthand with Ordinals, right? They hold more than their fair share of Bitcoin, and they're probably going to buy more. And
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ready for what's about to happen in these next 500 days.
Yeah, I agree with that. And there's been this like misconception and misrepresentation of like how society is in China, and I think it's changed over the past 5 years, or specifically even post COVID, is like, dude, the society over there is actually doing a lot better than we probably think. Like in
Yeah.
terms of automation and technology, and like 30% of their vehicles are electric, and so their whales are like whales now. Like that whale community was always kind of big and strong. I feel like that's grown, and they're going to be hyper aggressive during this opportunity, because that's what whales do. When they see
Mhm.
opportunities, they smell blood in the water, they go after it, and then they're smart about being able to kind of move their assets around whenever they need to. They're perfectionist almost. No one's perfectionist, but at like timing the market, right? So right now, once Bitcoin starts to get like really bullish and the price starts to get aggressive, they'll be a part of that. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting times. But also,
Yeah.
you got to think like a whale, and so make sure that you're smart with timing the market as well, not financial
Well, the
risk.
one thing is too about whales is they don't like using their own money, right? What do they like to do the most? They like to borrow from the banks, right? And they're not going to borrow from the banks when it's 5%. So when that drops to 3%, there's going to be a lot of borrowing, pent up borrowing that it starts to happen again from
Yep.
these big whales because they don't like to use their own money. They want to borrow 3% and make 40%, right? That's the name of the game for them. That's how they accumulate wealth. They don't use their own money. They don't take their own risk. They just risk their credit and stuff like that, and they borrow, and then try to make money on that borrowing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be really tricky though, because the interest rates, they're gonna be very, very careful with them. But there's, because we talk about like the mortgage rates, right? Like
Yeah.
me and my wife were blessed to be able to refinance and got an amazing rate that we probably won't ever see again in our lifetime. But that doesn't mean that you know that they won't manipulate those rates for a short period of time to get what they want, right? So it might not drop down to 2%, which was probably not going to see that, right? Ever again. But maybe like way down the line, way like when after we're gone. But anyways, um my point is, but they might let that like tick down to like high threes or four, which is still very attractive, and for the overall, like, I know you're talking about more of like borrowing large sums of money to use that acquired loan or money to be able to make more money. That's what rich people do. They don't use their own assets. They use the bank's assets. But
Yeah.
it's just going to be interesting to see how the Fed kind of tinkers with the rates for those really big whales to come in and start doing that.
Well, the biggest borrower in the world is the United States, right? Like every time they get money, it's all bonds, right? And the bonds rate is 5%. We can't afford to pay that. That has to drop. And I think you're wrong. I think we do see 2% within the next 500 days because the amount of money that we're spending on interest to those bondholders is astronomical.
Yeah.
Astronomical. It is the number is insane. So that the United States is actually will benefit from lower interest rates because they don't have to pay the bondholders 5% no more. And
Yeah.
1% is a ton of money.
Yeah. I just don't see the mortgage rates getting to 2%. I think that like that is just
Well,
I
from
mean,
bank to bank right now is 5%, so a mortgage rate is like 7%. But I'm
yeah.
just going from bank to bank, which is
Yeah,
5.25%.
yeah, totally different industry in
Yeah,
terms of who you're giving money out to. But yeah, so possibly, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
which would probably correlate to like a 4%,
yeah,
mortgage rate is what I
yeah,
was
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. So
Yep.
we were kind of pretty much on the same page there.
Yeah, we were. Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so yeah, man, I do definitely see like these are the brighter days coming up, right? Like we've been waiting for these brighter days because even though like maybe you and I, like someone that like we have good work ethic, right? And our wives do well for themselves,
yeah,
right? And so like our families are taken care of, but still like it was doom and gloom in terms of the news and everything that we've heard the past 3 years from an economic standpoint. And
yep,
you did see it with grocery inflation. I mean, you
yep.
saw it, you still see it right now. But I think like some of these brighter days are coming up, whether they're manipulated into brighter days or not,
Yeah.
they're still going to be brighter days.
I'm seeing a difference in prices. I mean, my family, our grocery bill, I don't know, 6 months ago was between $400 a week, and now it's dropped down to about 300, and I'm buying the same amount of stuff. If not, I'm buying
Nice.
more. So I'm definitely seeing a difference in the inflation. It's not showing yet in the the CPI and the PPI, but I'm seeing it at the grocery store. So
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah. That's definitely a
so
good sign. All right. Good combo. Good combo. We love to talk about the king.
yep,
Um,
and
and
everything else
what's
that
more.
comes with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I was like, we talked about groceries and we talked about everything. But that was a good conversation there. All right. So let's move over to another topic that's kind of
Yeah,
it's a little sensitive topic in our space. We cover everything ordinals, but we cover everything Bitcoin ecosystem too, because that's just kind of what we cover and we love and we're passionate about. And one of the topics recently has
yeah,
been, atomicals, and I think we need to get some clarity to the public or to our audience and the community. Um, we're not well. First, we have two different opinions here. I'll
yeah,
start with mine, and then you can kind of re-clarify yours. But my opinion is, I love the atomical protocol in terms of the technology. I think A is a really smart person that built it. ARC20s, I think that they will have their place in this market. It's going to take time, but there's a chance that they might not do as well as I initially thought. And But the really cool part about it is the technology part. Like you can, Bitwork is a mining functionality for the ARC20 fungible token protocol, right? So that is kind of where I'm coming from. And one other thing, and we're really close to Eric, BRC20 coins. He's like one of
yep,
our close friends, and he is very bullish on the whole protocol and everything. He obviously had he dipped his toe as a project lead for projects over there, but he's also speaks about it in different stages and stuff like that. And so that's where I'm coming from. Okay, if you could kind of give your
yeah.
kind of clarity on where you see atomicals and ARC20, because they are there's the overall ecosystem and then there's fungible token standard.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so real quick on the rewind, about last week, we had a Q&A question. Somebody took that video of that Q&A question and cut a very small part out. It got the Thoth, who is a Atomicals legend. He's one of the first people to adopt it, first people to talk about it. He is, if he's not a part of the team, he's the closest thing to it. He came out yesterday and basically put that video out and had a comment towards it. But then he said he started listing everyone who is building on atomicals, right? Including A himself, including all these different wallet makers and tooling and infrastructure plays, right? Awesome, right? My entire point was you show me one ARC20 that is being built by a team, by a DApp, by something using this as a governance, something using it as anything besides a meme coin, right? And I just want to talk to them. I just want to spotlight them. I want to shine a spotlight on ARC20. And I've been asking this question for over a month. Yago, haven't I asked this question for over a month, if not two
Yeah,
months at this point, right?
yeah,
I've
yeah.
asked
I
this
mean, you have,
question
but
all the time.
I do want to interject for like a quick second. So, you did say use the token as a governance or something
Anything.
to make the token a utility. But you know, I think it's more of this even, and because like on the BRC20 side, you're not doing that either, right? You're not using it as a governance yet. Maybe they've talked about it, but what they have done on the BRC20 side, let me finish real quick. What they've done on the BRC20 side is they've created products and say, hey, like yes, we launched this BRC20 fungible token. It might not be used in this application, but this application is our product, and the fungible token is our fungible token. And so that's something that you can kind of have them come on the show and talk about. And there's a possible future for that. And so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to kind of clear that part up.
That was good because I guess my main point is this coin represents us, right? And then when I look at this, right, meme, 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 up, copy of a meme, 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 meme. Oh, there's one. We got one. We got one. How many did I have to go by to get one? And all I'm asking for is any one of these, right? And then we got to keep going. Meme, meme, meme. And it's just all bitwork stuff like this. You can't tell me you're bullish on this stuff and there's not one project. I mean, besides Rect, but I mean, we haven't heard anything from them, Rect scientists, because they're part of like a debate community and stuff like that. But besides that, like the 24-hour volume got like, come on. You can't tell me that you can invest in any of this stuff. You can't. None of this stuff is investable. And I'm not saying Atomicals is not investable. I'm saying ARC20s, and knowing the difference between an ARC20, which is like a BRC20, and Atomicals, is like an Ordinal, completely different. Like I think the Realm stuff is amazing. I think the Atomicals like protocol is, Casey copied it. I think it's a complete. Runes is a copy of Atomicals. I agree with all that. All I'm saying is there is no one building or having one of these tokens represent them. And I don't understand the confusion. Like, I do not understand the confusion. Like, I'm bullish on Atomicals, bearish on ARC20s until that changes. And I don't understand why Thoth don't get that. And if I'm wrong, send them to me. Let me have a conversation with them. I've been putting out tweets for a month, if not 2 months, trying to get somebody who was working on an ARC20 just to say, hey, I'm working on an ARC20. Nobody. I can find guys working on tap coins. I can find guys working on CBRC20s. I can find guys working on BRC20s, obviously runes, but nobody can point to somebody and say that this is they're building on ARC20s. Nobody.
Yeah. So I think that it's possible to be right some and wrong some at the same time. And I think this is my opinion on this. So there are teams that are working on some of these ARC20s, but this kind of, so there's two, Electron and Neutron, and I'm going to show you their websites real quick. Hold on before you, because I know that you already have something back. But this, I think this falls on the community of the ARC20 builders here, right? So like, you guys, like, we're like Ordinal Revolution from a media arm is trying to promote the ARC20 protocol. So like when there's an open invitation out there, I think it's, if you want to help the protocol, then respond. Or if there's a reason why that you can't come on the show, then just let us know in DMs, or because what we want to do is we love Bitcoin's ecosystem, and we love the idea behind Bitwork and Dement and Realms and Atomicals. Yes, I have a slightly different perspective and opinion than Shizzy does on the whole ecosystem, but Shizzy looks for something that's kind of like, I need excitement. I need excitement right now. If you don't give me that excitement, I got to move on, because I got to find something that does bring that to me. And for me, I'm a little bit, I can wait a little bit and see a little bit, difference. And I think that's why our team works well, is because, he's moving on to the next thing. Sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I found out about this or something like that. Right. But I'm going to let you respond to what I said. But before I do that, I want to show you these websites real quick, because they are here. So this is Electron's team. It's Electron ARC20.io, the revolutionary token of the ARC20 protocol on the Bitcoin network. Electron is the first experimental high difficulty POW mining token in the ARC20 system. In the fast-paced world of cryptocurrencies, where innovation and competition are constant, a new figure emerges, Electron. Right, and I know that you're going to say that doesn't mean anything because they're not telling me anything, but I just wanted to show that. And then this one right here, which is Neutron's website as well. And it seems like that they're talking about their tokens ARC20, but to me, like, I feel like these are two teams and they should have responded quickly whenever you put that out, at least to jump on the show and talk to us and be like, hey, look, this is what we're working on. And and at least we could get more information about it. Now I'll let you kind of respond.
It seems like meme communities. Like, I can go find freaking hoo websites. I can find a lingo like websites. I can find all that. The same information is on those websites that I just seen on that.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think like they would have made a better impression had each of these teams came on our show, though. You get what I'm saying?
They don't even need to come on the show. Just reach out or just put something out saying you're building an ARC20. And everything that you just read has nothing about an ARC20. It's still a meme coin. Like the first one you showed,
or at least what we know about it,
like,
right?
what are you
doing? We
doing?
know about it.
What are you building?
About it. Yeah. So at least what we know about it. But to me, I feel like because like these are two people that have like Twitter presences. They have actual websites, which the Electron website looks actually fantastic. If you ask me, like if you look at the website, it looks amazing. But because I feel like they do themselves an injustice because it's like, who knows about this stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like you got to put the information out there, and that's what we're trying to help you do. But I'll leave it at that because I think one of the go ahead.
I guess the one last thing would be, if you are building one of these, if you're sitting here watching this and saying I'm one of the builders, DM us or Revolution, DM me at Shizzy Sats, DM Yagobi at Yagobiverse on X. Comment below. Let us come find you. Let us spotlight you. And even if it's just an article for the website where you can be complete anods, just to have some kind of presence out there that is just not a meme coin, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's all I'm asking. And Thoth, dude, please unblock me because I don't know what kind of crap that was about, but you're obviously afraid of my opinion, and that's fine because a lot of people are. So.
Well, and another thing too, Thoth has been a good friend of the show, and so that was unexpected. I would say that, and I think
I even tried calling him yesterday. I picked up the Twitter thing, I hit the call button, and he ignored it. Have a conversation with me. If you're gonna be all out there and keep posting crap publicly, have a conversation with me. It's all I ask.
Yeah, and I think one thing too is that, like, this is a part of human nature where people have disagreements. So let's just kind of let's move forward and let's make the space a better place. But and I think by doing that too is that you got to be transparent and straightforward and truthful. And you got to be able to accept opinions, and even if you don't, like, you can come to the table, have a discussion about why you don't, right? And I think that's it, guys. Like, this place is it's a beautiful place, but sometimes it can get to where people are a bit sensitive on both sides, right? And not just everybody from outside of Ordinal Revolution, but I think the biggest thing is let's make the space a great place, because there's new people coming in constantly, and we are, well, I don't know about Shizzy how like he feels about it now in general, but for me, like, whenever you have people like Eric BRC20 coins that still, and believe me, that guy, whenever he's not bullish about something, he's kind of like Shizzy, but maybe not like, he doesn't say it as vocally, but he will say it to you. And so the fact that he is, a bit bullish on Atomical still, that's one of the reasons I'm also still bullish. Obviously, I do my research as well. So
bullish on Atomicals, bearish on ARC20s.
Yep. And I think that's okay, right? Yeah. So, all right, now here comes the next topic, which is we'll see how well I can kind of argue my point here. The question is, can BTC Frogs make a comeback and be the top digital artifact collection? So right off the bat, I do think yes. But I think that they're gonna have to fight for that top 3 spot. I think that from the optics, it doesn't look so great right now because the frogs took a big kind of dump down to, I think they're at like right under 0.1, right? What's the price right now?
0.97, yeah,
Okay,
0.97.
0.97. But we've seen the frogs go up aggressively in the past and then pull back. Go up aggressively in the past and then pull back. And they had their most aggressive come up in November when they went to 0.4. 0.4, guys. The frogs were at 0.4, almost 0.5. And to me, Shizzy talks a lot about this, the collector's phase, and I think he got that
Yeah.
also from like the OSD guys and stuff, and it made sense. Whenever he brought it up, I was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. But the collector's phase is not where we are right now. You got to basically what we're trying to do with this Bitcoin ecosystem is really take 2017 all the way to 2021 and condense all of that together and put it into the Bitcoin's experience of like the DeFi and the NFT craze, right? And for us to do that, like that means that we start with the IDO because that's really what started it, kicked it off in 2017, 2018, 2019. And and then what happens? DeFi came. And then right after DeFi came, the collectors came and they really started to like pump up the Bored Apes and the crypto punks and all that stuff. So we're talking about, if we were to do a timeline right now, we're still dealing with a lot of these legitimate IDOs. There's going to be some illegitimate. There always is. But now, like, people tried to do the IDO stuff in the summer, and we could tell right away it was just too early for it. We're like, scam. Now it's the legitimate ones, and then you also have right after that we have the DeFi coming. We got Merlin and stuff getting prepped for that. That could last like all through the summer, and then maybe late fall, early winter is when we see these collections blow up, or maybe even spring of 2025. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I think meme season happened when when Ordi went to $100 and Sats flew up and all Honk and all that. So we saw the meme season, and then we've been in IDO season for a while. There's been a lot of IDOs that are happening. A lot of them are coming from actual DeFi projects like on Merlin. But you got to remember too, there's also stuff that's happening here on Layer 1. We're seeing
Runes.
swaps pop up all the time, and now with Runes, they're going to see like Runes Pro and like all these other different Runes terminal and all the other runes stuff like there. So you're going to see some trading happening and probably some DeFi stuff happening very slightly on Layer 1, but you're going to see that, and you're going to see a lot of IDOs coming with that. A lot of IDOs probably coming out of what's it, Beat Network, right? The other one, or B2 Network, B Squared. And then with Merlin, of course, because Merlin already has some IDOs coming. I mean, just you have one coming up tonight at 11 p.m. With Merlin Swap, right? It's happening in about when this video is released, probably like 9 hours. And so right there alone, you're going to see more of this IDO season. And so after IDO season comes DeFi season, right? And then after DeFi season comes the collection phase, right? And then after the collection phase, you kind of see it kind of reset back into Bitcoin a little bit. And then we kind of start it all over again with meme season again, right? So I think in the meme season, and then you'll probably go see the late IDOs of people coming out of the woodwork to finally drop their project, and that's going to be the late version of the IDOs. And then again, we'll see another version of DeFi summer. That one takes us into the back end of the bull market, and a lot of people are going to get hurt on that one. But I think since we are so early this IDO season and this version of the DeFi season, and then the collection cycle is going to be pretty big for everyone that's here. You're going to make a lot of Bitcoin, hopefully. And I truly believe that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, man. And to kind of wrap this up with the frogs, I feel like the frogs, remember, the frogs were the first quote unquote like gang, the Ribbit gang, right? Ribbit, like that was all that was we would hear from last summer after the Bitcoin conference in Miami. And that community was huge. It was there's three communities I feel like that were like this. The frogs were the first, and they had the swamp every day. Then you had the goosenals. Don't get me started, right? And then now you have the puppets.
Yeah.
Right. So they were the first. And I think the goosenals have a resurgence as well. But I think that those things are gonna happen once the collector's phase is here. And I think Bitcoin frogs could like from where they are right now, I actually feel like it's a value play. I picked up quite a few when they dropped to 0.95 around that range, 0.95. And so we'll see if my gamble pays off here or my bet pays off here. But I know that I have to wait probably at least like 6 months for this. You know what I mean? And maybe I get rid of them as the time is going up. But we'll see. You know, it's just kind of the way that I'm playing my hand.
So can the frogs become the number one by market cap?
I think that's going to be hard because Node Monkeys has like such good hype and like team hype, right? Like community hype with it, and so I feel like Node Monkeys will probably be the top. I think frogs can try eventually to challenge that, but they still got to get through the puppets. They got to get Quantum Cats to me is the one that I'm the least bullish on, honestly.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're holding their value because the price of the mint was so high, you know. And so you know that's just my opinion. I have nothing against Udi and Eric and all them. I think they're great advocates for ordinals, but I just feel like they don't have the same community energy that like frogs, OMB, or Node Monkeys has. I could be wrong, and they could prove me wrong,
Yeah.
but that's just my gut feeling on them.
And I just don't think like Asia is in Quantum Cats. I don't think Asia is in OMB. I think Asia is in Node Monkeys. I think Asia is in frogs or were in frogs. We heard some rumors that the Asian community was dumping these, and that would make a lot of sense on why the prices is so low, and that the West is kind of picking these up. But it's obvious, man. The West doesn't have as much Bitcoin as the Asian countries.
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty obvious.
yeah, and they're very almost like 1 or 2 steps ahead too. And so, what could they be doing this for?
Yeah.
What do you think? Why could they be dumping frogs? Why could they be
Oh,
dumping things?
they're just ahead of everyone else. They're getting ready for runes.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that's one thing that we learned is, for the most part, the East and Asia doesn't really trust these Western developers very much,
No.
and probably for good reason. But I'll say this: they trust the hell out of Casey. They love Casey, and they've said it
Yeah.
like multiple times. So I think like, and that actually goes to show they're very strategic. They're not just prejudiced or anything like that. They just go based off of what has your history proven. Like, what have you proven over your history, like your credit with me? And
Yeah.
Casey has proven to them that he's earned their trust and stuff. And so they're anything he does, they get ready, they're getting ready for it. I guarantee they're super ready to get into runes 0, and they're gonna figure all that stuff out.
Yeah, man, I believe that 100%, and I think that China's very loyal. They feel loyal to Casey because he created something where they can use their Bitcoin finally. Bitcoin's no longer a pet rock, right? And I think that's why they're so bullish on Casey, because they've seen him do it once. A lot of the times, if you do it once, the second time's a lot easier, and I think they see that, and I think that a lot of builders, right, that were building on ARC20s and building on BRC20s and building on CBRC20s and building on all these meta protocols are now stopping what they're doing and they're pivoting to runes. So we're not only going to see a lot of these meme coins happening, but we're probably going to see a lot of IDOs that end up being runes. So
Yeah.
again,
No. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And it's so funny you said Pet Rock because, Fred, we all know Fred, Fred Krueger. He's a great guy to follow for Bitcoin price action and stuff like that. But we know Fred is a smart guy, and he actually has some, not too many, but some Bitcoin maxi tendencies, but not really. But the maxi started going after him, and he was just like, wow, like, I'm surprised that like so many maxis or something like that. It was something along those lines. The wording was different for sure. And I responded and I said, well, are you surprised? Because this is coming from laser eyes that literally go to each other's houses every night to show off each other's ledgers. To see the, saying to say, hey, this is my balance. And he's like, hey, this is my balance. And he's like, well, that was your balance yesterday. And that's what they think Bitcoin is. That's it. But there's so much more to it. And like you said, I think a lot of these Chinese whales and stuff appreciate that there's this on-chain economy. And what a time to be alive. I know I say that,
I know.
but goodness gracious, like feel so blessed to just fall into this ecosystem. It makes me smile just right now because I'm so happy, dude. Like we fell into an ecosystem, not fell, like we searched, but we like found
We
some,
chose to be here.
exactly. And man, what an opportunity, right? So
Yeah. And that's the thing too. That's why we feel like we are some of the best people in the space to do this show, is because we see things pretty early than other people. And I think that's why, like, I'm kind of getting very liquid for runes, and that's why you're getting liquid for runes. And I think that's why the Asian countries are getting very liquid for runes. And if you're not getting very liquid for runes, don't do it at the end. Don't wait until April 10th. At that point, you just got to hold what you hold, because you're going to be selling for pennies on the dollar of what you could have sold today. And I think you should definitely have enough Bitcoin on the sideline to where you feel comfortable kind of really getting down and dirty, because we saw it with the BRC20s, man. How amazing was that when every single day there was a new mint that went freaking ballistic every day? It was like 3 days in a row where it was like Ghosty, Traverse, and like something else. And we just made buckets of cash that entire time. It was wild. And I think we see that again. So,
yeah, no, 100%, man. I think that the way that from what I heard, and we'll wrap this up and go on to the next topic after this, but the way that I heard Casey's developed the runes protocol is to not clog up the mempool. I know he absolutely hates UTXO bloat and stuff like that. So that's probably why he got so excited that this is UTXO model, as stored in the op return, not like the accounting system, and to where like the UTXO bloat just gets so big. So I'm going to be curious at how like this deploy and minting process starts to happen, because I guarantee he's going to try to create a way to where, because if there's mass deployments all the time, he wants it to be to where it's not going to like bloat, the network and everything.
well, I think he said that. I think he said that if it does do that, he wants to burn Bitcoin the entire time. So I think there's gonna be a burning mechanism for Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's about
just
to
made
come
my eyes go
deflationary.
crazy just now.
I think Bitcoin's about to go deflationary. We're gonna see like ultrasoundmoney.eth. We're probably gonna see ultrasoundmoney.ordinals or
Which was
dot runes.
yeah,
So
well, it's actually is essentially like, if you think about it from a technical standpoint
yeah,
right now, it's deflationary because the on-chain economy with the accounting system is you got these sats locked up in these inscriptions, right? So
yeah,
yes, it doesn't seem like that would be much, but when you're talking about how many inscriptions are we at right now? Like almost 70 million?
65 million. Yeah,
Okay, 65 million inscriptions that have sats in the, multiple sats.
yeah,
Like 545 is the typical sat number that you lock
yeah.
into like an ordinal, right?
Some of mine have 10,000. I don't
Well,
know why.
I have one that was like 30 million, 30.8 million that was stuck in the toilet inscription.
Can we talk about that for a second? I know it wasn't on the game plan, but
Yeah.
I got a message from Yagobi. I said, "Yo, I got 30 million satoshis locked in a toilet."
Dude, I thought I
couldn't
got
stop
rugged.
laughing.
Yeah.
So what happened? What happened?
So
You sold an ordinal. You gotta say what ordinal it was, but you sold an ordinal.
Yeah, I sold an ordinal, right? And it was around, you guys would probably figure it out, but it was around, 30.8 million satoshis, which equates to around 20 grand, right? And I went ahead and sent that Bitcoin over to, my other wallet, and saw it go through, and then, or saw it transfer over, and it showed reflected on the balance. And then I went to go do something. Came back about 30 minutes later, checked the wallet that I sent it to, and it wasn't there. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Checked my other wallet, and I saw that it was still there. I was like, it's never happened before. I checked my inscriptions, and I was like, did my cat not? Oh, there it is.
Oh, we know what it is. It's
okay,
gravy.
yeah. All right, okay. So I got rid of my cat. Anyways, and what I was gonna say is that, like, did it not sell? Did it not go through? What happened, right? I think this is very important for people to listen to this, because I actually saw in my wallet a golden toilet with a plunger on it, right? And all my satoshis were locked in that inscription, and I was just like, this is weird. This is super weird. I was kind of freaking out because I was like, is this like a scheme? You know what I mean? Like a scam, to where like someone's trying to scheme through using like inscriptions to lock them in and something. I was just freaking out because that's a lot of dough, right? And so I hit Shizzy up, I hit everybody up, Mr. BRC, everybody. My boy J25 came to the rescue, popped in, we did a little chat, and I used satting.io, which has amazing tools. I was able to pluck that inscription out of the Satoshi range of, you know, the range of 30.8 million, and send it to myself on different sats, right? I just put 545 sats in there, sent it, and then so that separated it, and then that allowed me to free up my Bitcoin. But yeah, so if that ever happens, guys, you know, that's probably one of the options for you to free up your Bitcoin. I guess there was the payment included this golden toilet that I still have to this day. But
Took you
anyways,
forever.
yeah, exactly. So funny story though. It's a funny story, that's for sure.
How wild! It could have been anything. It could have been anything. A picture of a goblin, anything. It was a toilet, and it was a golden toilet, and it was stuck with a plunger.
Yeah,
So good. Shout out J25. Hopped on, knew what to do right away. He said first thing he said was, "Yagobi, your funds are fine. We
yeah.
got this." And then we went and figured it out. Shout out J25. We're gonna have him on the show, really soon, because he's actually someone who's very knowledgeable about this space. So shout out him.
Yeah. And that's why the Ordinal support desk gets so much love, man. Even when they're, you know, after hours, off. He's like, man, I'm off right now. I was like, can you help me out? And he's like, all right, let me clock in. So he helps me out. And but no, seriously, those guys are definitely, you know, high up. J25 Block 1 and 2. Much love to all those guys. Cowboy, if he's ever in there. And some others that are always in there. Kramer.
Kramer.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I missed anybody else in there, but Johan, all those guys. Yeah. So definitely much love to those guys at OSD. But this is the last topic here before we get into market update. But can you talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, it just happened not long ago, about an hour and a half ago at this point, probably like 2 hours when you guys are watching this. But Merlin Swap just tweeted that they took a snapshot of every transaction and every liquidity pool and everything that just happened. So if you did have a liquidity pool, or if you did have transactions in the last day or so, they count towards your airdrop. So not only will Merlin Swap be doing their IDO tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. Pacific, they will also be doing an airdrop within the coming days as well. So you guys are going to get rained on by the MP token. It's going to end up in your wallets, and if you guys choose to dump it, I will be one of the ones buying your airdrop up. I will be participating in this IDO. I'm very bullish on Merlin Swap. I'm very bullish on Merlin. If you don't know, you should know, because you obviously don't watch the show. I think that that over there is going to be very fun this upcoming cycle, and I want to participate by all means. And then if there is another layer 2 that pops up, I will participate in that too, because I love DeFi, I love staking, I love airdrops, I love everything that comes with just playing with these sites. And I think Merlin Swap is going to be this cycle's Uniswap, but for the Bitcoin side of things. And I think we're very lucky to be getting this airdrop, not only the airdrop, but the IDO as well, because I think the tokens will be very cheap to the comparison of what it's going to be like in about three to 500 days. So
Yeah, guys, and this is just another DApp on a Merlin chain that's kind of offering like these early entries to the public, right? Whether it's airdrops or IDO. So, the people that are paying attention right now are the ones that are going to benefit. And 6 months, 12 months down the road, when the true DeFi boom happens on Bitcoin, everybody's going to be so late, at that point. But they're going to try to get into all these new things and stuff, but you already got into something like Merlin Swap at that point, and the price should be reflective back then or at that point. But not financial advice, of course. But yeah, so get ready for that. The snapshot was taken, and I think with that being said, we can just jump right into the market updates. What do you think?
yeah, man, let's do it. Let's look at those BRC 20s first, right?
Yep, let's do it. So exciting. Well, at least it's on OKX now. Sorry,
Well, I
had.
have a question. Are we gonna do
Yes.
runes? Are we just gonna stop doing BRC 20s when runes drops?
I don't know. We'll have to kind of see. I feel like that's how we've always done our show, is kind of see how the market flows and everything. And you
Yep.
know, give the audience what they want is very important, and we'll kind of hear some feedback on that. But kick it off. The Pi token is number one. Wow. First time in a couple of days, you know, a couple of market updates to where we've seen the $1 million volume, and it's gotten a lot. It's $1.8 million volume here. Market cap's at $35.98 million. So shout out to the Pi token here. That's interesting. Jago. Wow. Jago really kind of, yeah. Okay. So I'm about to look into Jago here, man. Do they have a website? Let's see if they have a website. I can look that up later, but cool little logo here. So a $619,000 market volume in the past 24 hours, $2.88 million market cap. I'm going to research this one for real this time. I know I joked about it a
I
lot.
think we have to.
Yeah, because at this point it's like, you know, it's at the top of OKX, which gets all the volume. So number 3, BNB Plus. That would be interesting if they actually had a partnership with BNB, and then everybody's like fading it because it's like a copy. So BNB Plus, $421,000 in total 24-hour volume, and $729,000 market cap. Stat X, man, this one's also been one of those that just keeps coming up. It's $376,000 in 24 hours, $8.37 million market cap. DBTX at $363,000 in total 24-hour volume, $1.43 million market cap. PIIN at $351,000 in 24-hour volume, market cap is $15 million. Then you have number 7, LIGO at $247,000 in 24-hour volume and $10.19 million market cap here. Rats comes in at number 8 at $224,000 in past 24 hours, and market cap is $261.4 million. Man, Rats is still on fire. Number 9, AINN, an AI token. This is available in the seal. $185,000 in 24-hour volume, $41.91 million market cap. Number 10, INSC at $98.7 thousand 24-hour volume, $5 million market cap. And then we'll kind of sift through the top 20 here. I'll see some that I recognize right off the bat. Sats number 15 had $53.897 thousand in 24-hour volume, $1.02 billion market cap. So it's still staying over that $1 billion market cap. So that's definitely a good sign. Number 16, Pups. This is a meme token from the Puppets community. $50,286 total 24-hour volume, sitting at $23.86 million market cap. Guys, the Puppets, I mean, what can I say? These guys are crazy. They have so much community energy. It's ridiculous. Number 19 is Ordi, coming in at $41.35 thousand 24-hour market or volume, and then $1.33 billion. So, you know, well over the $1 billion market cap there. So that's, you know, Ordi and Sat staying over 1 billion to me is very important. And then you have number 20 with Track at $38,441 in 24-hour volume, sitting at $81.91 million market cap. And so that's pretty much it, guys, for the weekend BRC20 market update.
And I'll take you guys over to the digital artifact part of this. And that number 1 spot, we got Runes down about 20% since I want to say last week. And that is because Wendy O has officially bought a runestone. She went on her show, and if you're not familiar with Wendy O, she's somebody who you know, came out every single day on her show, and she shilled Celsius, she shilled Blockify, she shilled FTX, she shilled, you know, every single project that hurt people last cycle. She shilled it, and because of that, anytime she buys anything, I sell it. And she was on her show last week and said that she wants to buy one of these Rooney thingies. That was the exact word that she used, Rooney thingies. And if you don't believe me, you can go back and watch the show. I think it was from like Thursday. And so if and obviously she didn't get the airdrop because she didn't have any of these Rooney thingies. So she wasn't in Ordinals last year. So these Rooney thingies, she called them, are down, and they will continually go down until she sells, and we'll find out when she does that. But then in number 2 spot, we have the No Monkeys sitting at 0.685, 205 Bitcoin in volume, followed by the Ordinal Maxi Biz sitting at 151 Bitcoin in volume at 0.388. And the puppets on a tear again, sitting at 0.264. This could be the top collection, dude. Puppets could I mean, they could outpace No Monkeys. They really could. Which is kind of scary because that's a 2x from here, sitting at 149 Bitcoin in value.
Yeah.
The R6 in that fifth spot, sitting at 0.069. I do see R6 and Runes really moving up while everything else kind of fades up against those two just because of the name of the runes that are coming with them, but who knows. And also you can see Rune Pups here as well, sitting at 0.0098 with 56 Bitcoin in total value. Followed by the Quantum Cats, another one I think is going to bleed out a little bit here. I think these go back down to about 0.2, and so after Runes, and then you see a big pump from them later, sitting at 0.289 at 43 Bitcoin in value. Followed by the Little Pups, sitting at 0.0044, sitting at 40.55. Game of Blocks in that nice spot. These were airdropped to a whole bunch of people, sitting at 0.0029. Followed by the Nat Cat, sitting at 0.045. Tiny Vikings sitting at 0.0029, another one of these runes thingies. And then you had the Bitcoin Frog sitting at 0.097. This could potentially bleed out as well going into the halving, which is the rune's birthday. So, and that is your digital artifact update. I don't think a lot of these prices are going to get much better. I do think that potentially R6 take a run here. And we'll see what happens, but that's the only one that I'd be bullish on right now.
Yeah. And to your point about the what is it, the puppets, right? I feel like they right now there's going to be a point where like the inscription numbers do matter and the rare stats do matter, and we talk about that before. It's going to be more towards the collectors phase of the cycle. But anyways, yeah, I'm freezing up here. Hopefully that gets fixed up. But anyways, I'm going to take you over to the BRC 420s. So the BRC 420s, of course, the blue box is number one, sitting at 0.487. It's taking a pullback. Everything in BRC 420 kind of has. And I think this got all the way to like 0.7 something. Like that's how high it got. So still $31,000, which is quite a chunk of change there. And then number two, we know about the mineral situation. It's definitely pulled back. It's at 0.0077, right at $500. I do know that like they announced the airdrop. I did see my MNER tokens in my wallet. I think they're still working on some other stuff, hopefully, to kind of rectify some of the community disgruntlement. But we'll see what happens with that. Number three is the music box sitting at $1,000. So this is staying pretty strong. 0.0155 is the floor there. Dragon Ball from the MOA game is 0.0023, $150. Blue Wand from Bitsard and Bitmap Wars. They're building this kind of layer 2 gaming world ecosystem, right? Kind of like what Arbitrum has done with Treasure and Magic. So I think this could be a very interesting play for their token, the Bitsard token, but they're sitting at 0.00221, $143. Key comes in right after at 0.00022, $14.26. You got the Ords Games at $23.99, sitting at 3 zeros and a 37. Chip Game, 0.00245, $158. This thing has pretty much held some good value here, ever since it got to like $130, it's gotten all the way to 200 and something, and now it's at 150. So very excited to see what they got going on here. Going to research and see if their websites had made any progress. Outside of that, we do have the Titanium Cheeto, the meme of BRC 420. It's in at $51.21. And then we will visit our Ordinal Revolution pass for our OG holders. Let's see how many holders we got. Well, the price is at $1,264, holding a decent floor here. 268 holders, guys. Goodness gracious. That's a large percentage of holders. If you do a backwards division here, you're looking at 89% 89% holding of this this out of the total supply here. So 268 individual wallet addresses. So that is we'll have some more news and information coming out about the OG passes. Those Verothian Mine airdrops should be pretty much done. I think there might be a couple left, but we will check up on that and update you guys as soon as possible. And that's the BRC 420 update.
All right. Should I jump into? I guess we got to talk about the kitty, right? The kitty over on Merlin Chain.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what happened? What that? Everyone would just went cuckoo for who? Like what happened with that?
If you look on Merlin Swap, you can see that the pool for MBTC has grown pretty, tremendously. You can see, is it in analytics? Let me pull it up. I mean, the liquidity is at 37 million now, right? As before it was at 18 million.
Yeah.
So the liquidity has definitely jumped up quite a bit. And so I think the MBTC is something that has definitely helped with that. So
100%. You see how it broke out of this triangle. It went all the way up to about, it hit, I want to say a $30 million market cap. Congratulations to all Hoo holders. It was absolutely insane, guys. Insane. So, wow. Congratulations. But then we'll jump over to Voya. Voya is down. A lot of liquidity seems to be moving out of Voya and kind of into Hoo there. But I do see that Voya makes a comeback here. Not really many other tokens really talk to about MBTC. I think this is one to watch here. It's sitting at around 63,000. Bitcoin's at 65, so that's not bad. That's actually really good. Congratulations to Jeff. Congratulations to the Merlin guys, man. If you go back and you watch about a month ago, I was excited to kind of buy MBTC for 25% off. It doesn't look like I'm going to get that opportunity. It makes me sad, but I was hoping to put in 0.75 and get a 1 Bitcoin. But those guys they're just too good at what they do. The Merlin Chain guys, from Jeff to the entire team, they're not going to let me get my opportunity to buy cheap M tokens. So. But yeah, I'm gonna look back at the Bitcoin halving clock because I made a mistake, and we'll jump back to Yagobi. But I think that's our show, right?
Yeah. That's pretty much the show, guys. Please smash the likes. Make sure that you subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you want to learn about what we're thinking, you can join our membership on YouTube. It's $10 a month. I think it's well worth it, but that's my opinion. If you don't feel like it is, then don't join. But we have a lot of good testimonies on our Discord. Or from that point, join our Discord. Even if you're not in our membership, you can join the general chat. A lot of help there. And check out the website, guys, ordinalrevolution.com. We try to put up, the latest and greatest articles. We have 21% off of your Bitcoin Nashville tickets. If you use the banner in the top right there, you can get a direct link for that. And then also we have a store tab to where you can buy awesome Ordinals gear. You can get a hat like this, hat like Shizzy's, T-shirts, all a bunch of great stuff. I wore my Send Nodes T-shirt yesterday. You can see on my Twitter account. But we just want to say thank you, guys. Our memberships have been growing. Welcome to all the new members. And make sure you catch our lives every day, Monday through Friday. I'll start at 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central, and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hell yeah. And guys, we're actually been talking. We have me and Yagobi. We talked about this a while ago, but we haven't really talked about it in a while. But we're gonna start doing classes called Catching Up to Ordinals. If you guys are somebody who's on Ethereum and you guys have no idea where to start from, we're gonna have an hourly rate. You guys can book hourly classes with me and Yagobi. You have 2 guys, and you'll be able to get all your questions answered. We can walk you through everything you guys need to know. So if you guys are interested in that, ordinalrevolution@gmail.com. Email us. We'll send you the hourly quote. If you're interested, we can move forward. And if you are not, then that is fine as well. So, but we want to get everyone called up to Ordinals, and if it is worth, if it's worth it to you, it's worth it to us. So just let us know. Email ordinalrevolution@gmail.com. But yeah, that's our show.
All right.
See you guys.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go. We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Yeah, experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Runes is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution.